part of the waterfall, which is also a biofilter. So the gravel that you see here and the plants that are in the gravel actually clean the water. And these are some plants that are kind of rare. You don't see them around with the purple leaves. These will actually get to about 4 or 5 feet tall, and the leaves will be about 3 feet. So that's kind of fun. Then over here we have lotuses, which are just starting to come up, and some flowers are coming out now. And they should be opening up probably in another month. So the concept is that this creates airflow, which aerates the water for the fish and ends up cleaning the water. And you can see some koi coming up down in front now. They're just swimming past it. So this Yucca Walk I actually got from Princessa Borghese in Sicily. She has one of these at her house, but her yuccas are about 25 feet tall and it's completely engulfed the walkway, which is really kind of sexy. So this will eventually have a water rill and cascades coming down and feeding the big pond. So this is the back side of the studio that the main pond, the koi pond, is sitting on. And my offices are upstairs, the meeting rooms are on the left, and the main offices and group meetings are here on the right. And we're hoping that eventually the entire south exposure of this building, which is what you're looking at, will end up being living walls. So we hope to have a lot of garden, vegetables, and herbs growing on this entire structure, both structures. So you can see here we put the wood slats on again, which protects the stucco. And that room is dropped 12 degrees average over the year because of the cool air going behind the wood slats. Then we've put in an elevator for handicap access for the main conference areas here and lectures. And this screening you see, this is actually glass with octagon-shaped scrims in it. So what that does is it cuts down, you can see through them if you look straight through going up the elevator. But if the sun's at an angle, it cuts the sun from coming into the elevator access. Then as you walk up to the front, we have all these drought-tolerant plantings from Australia, New Zealand, succulents, staghorn ferns, a lot of air ferns, and obviously the olive trees. The concept is to have a lot of separation on the property and not have to walk very far to get to different areas. I only walk 300 feet to work. So my carbon footprint is very minimal. As you can see, the studio houses one guest suite, all the offices, some conference rooms, where this structure will house the media room for movies, the art gallery, large group gatherings, and we can also have retreats here on the property. So people that are into sustainability can come and listen to lectures. We can fly specialists in, people that want to hear what people have to say. And you can have retreats up here for green corporations. So the area that you're standing in, my concept was as you came up the walk towards the front door, which is a 5 by 10 foot pivot door, you felt the compression of the building over your head. And you can see there's not one light underneath the ceiling, but there's 9 lights. So it lights it very evenly and it's dimmed. So they're only 10-watt bulbs, so it's this warm candle-like glow. So the garage, as you can see, cantilevers off the back. They're filled cells, fully insulated to R60. The roof is planted, which I'll show you when we get up to that area. We've used all the rock that we've pulled out of the ground for our foundations and so forth and done dry stack walls. The advantage to that is we're not using concrete, we're not using pollutants. They're just put together very professionally, I guess. And they hold up any small retaining walls that we need to do. Plus, we got to use it and not just have it hauled off to a dump somewhere. So this property is 41 million years old. It was underwater back then, and as we were breaking some of the rock out for the foundations, we found a lot of fossils. The lower section where the new learning center is going actually has a fossil conch field on it, on the sidewall. And that's where we're going to set in the mini amphitheater for lectures. This is the new acreage that we purchased to build our learning center for people to come up and see, have lectures, and it'll also have housing for retreats. We have 5 acres on top of the mountain, the entire bottom of the mountain where the stream is. So the Trenca stream runs through there, which is a blue line stream. We have a Sumash archaeological site, and we have about 15 acres flat down there that we're going to put in some organic farms. We're going to put an herb farm that we can actually make herb oil, plus dried herbs that the Volunteers of America might be working with us on. And that'll give the veterans a job and allow them to produce a product, a light industry, that they can then sell themselves. This is a little children's maze labyrinth that we built. That's the Gwen Merrill bronze cat. That's going to be the prize to get to. It just got planted last week, but obviously these little succulents and plantings will get up to about 1 foot tall in the end, and the kids will actually walk on the mulch and try and get their way over to the cat. So there are a lot of dead ends. They'll be able to see a lot of different plant material, and we have more plant material coming that'll actually, so you'll have a whole stepping range from low succulents to bushy succulents, and this is a 0 watering facility. So the boulder that you're looking at is actually the top of the mountain. That's solid granite, and we had to crawl a little bobcat up here with a breaker to get 2 feet off. It took 4 hours. Then we surrounded the house, actually, or the main convention center, with a pond that goes around 180 degrees for fire, and it's nice. And you walk over these stepping stones onto the media roof. So this is actually the roof of the media, and we can adjust the water level here to go over the infinity edges, or we can keep it lower when it's not in use for parties or gatherings, so that the wind doesn't blow the water off the roofs. Is what we did on the roof is there are herb gardens up there which keeps the animals away. The Loggia is actually a summer sleep area that we can sleep there. There's a fireplace there, the herb gardens are there, and there's normally some shears that wrap that building when it's in use. We just finished this little outdoor seating area. We brought in island oaks, which are kind of hard to get, but they're used to being on the islands and getting a lot of wind damage and whipping, so these will take that kind of abuse. We also brought in these Australian and New Zealand grasses. So this is the granite strata that this top of this mountain is made of, that the house actually supported by. The house cantilevers off this side of the mountain and overlooks the entire canyon, which is kind of nice. And these are all natural, native little baby orchids and all kinds of other little flowers that grow indigenous to this area.